Broncos country, free agency for the most part, wave one, wave two is done, but there are a lot of intriguing players that I think could still really help Bo Nix, Sean Payton, and the Denver Broncos, specifically on the offensive side. So we're going to dig into some film and we're going to talk about Elijah Moore today, a former second round pick who's only 24 years old, and see if he could potentially be a good fit or a good addition for this Broncos team, obviously depending on the cost and the price. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mark here, Marcky Sports. If y'all love Denver sports content and if you love NFL draft stuff, I'd appreciate it if you considered hitting that subscribe button, liking the video, and let's join a community together, man. We got a great Discord. All the information, everything down is below. I appreciate y'all. Let's dig in to the boy, Elijah Moore. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Elijah Moore. Who is he? What kind of a player is he? Why is he not signed? That's a big thing for me, right? Why is Elijah Moore still available, right? So first and foremost, this guy is almost 25 years old. He'll be 25 years old here in a couple weeks, right? So he's a very young player, and he's a former second-round pick. He was the 34th overall selection out of Ole Miss just a few years back. A couple of red flags, a couple of things that well, you can decide for yourself if it's red flags or not. And cheers to y'all. This is a coffee, so don't be judging. But he played for two teams so far in his career, right? He was drafted by the Jets, and he ends up getting traded to the Browns. Poor guy, to be honest with you. And when he left the Jets, he actually requested a trade. He said he didn't feel like he was being used properly. They obviously had a regime change there. So they traded him over to the Cleveland Browns, where it wasn't all that much better, especially given the quarterback situation. I think he thought it would be better with Deshaun Watson, but we all know how that's been going. However, throughout his career, his best two seasons arguably came when he was with Cleveland. Hardcore possession receiver, somebody that is really a short to sometimes intermediate route runner, strictly a slot guy, but 61 catches each of the past two seasons, 538 yards this last year, 652 the year before. And like you can see, not much of a touchdown getter, right? His best touchdown producing year was his rookie season in 2021. But what he is he's a very good possession receiver, somebody that you could rely upon to, catch the ball, get first downs, all that good stuff. 46% of his snaps in his career, surprisingly, were actually in the slot, 52% out wide. But in this last season, you can see 56% were in the slot and 42 out wide. So he's somebody that definitely has inside out versatility. But what I'm kind of noticing and what I see is he has a little bit of an identity crisis in terms of where teams ideally want to use him. Right. So those are just a couple of things. But he's somebody that, let me tell you guys, he can get open, man. He really has the ability to, separate a very, very good short area quickness. He's actually a 4.3 guy, which is a little bit surprising. And he's got a really good ability, like I said, to bring an element, I think, to this Broncos team that is, still missing. We don't have a receiver like him that's got the ability to get open and have the short area quickness right off of the bat. And he's very savvy. A couple things that you notice before we dive into the film that I didn't put in there that are negatives. The effort sometimes you can tell is not always there. That's why I can see why his PFF grades might be a little bit lower. He's not very consistent. I guess to his credit is his quarterback play was very inconsistent as well. As you can see, there was a lot of times where he's open and the quarterback misses him, or they give him a very tough ball to catch. But overall, I really like what I see from this kid. I think he's got a lot of potential, and he could be one of those receivers that kind of bets on himself, that takes a prove-it deal, maybe a one-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal, and he could potentially be somebody that is, productive for the team. So without further ado, guys, let's dive right in. All right, so oops. What you doing? What are we doing here, guys? What's popping? All right, so kind of go back a little bit. We're going to let a lot of this film run, but I want you guys to know he's in the slot typically most of the time. My pointer doesn't always work on here. I don't even know if you can see my cursor, but he's in the slot, and we'll run it, and you'll see him catch the ball, and then we'll play it back for y'all. So let's dive into it here. So look at that separation right across the middle. You see him catch the ball. It's actually an awfully thrown ball, but you're going to see this consistently. You got the corners. They're playing off-man coverage. They end up dropping into a zone. And look how savvy he ends up being top of the route. He really does a good job faking, coming to a complete stop right after he gets past that initial wave, right in between the zone. Bang, turns around, and look at the separation. wide open, terribly thrown ball, but he still makes the catch. So you got to love that. Again, here, he's going to be put in motion and just ran right off. And an ability, his stop-start ability really is ridiculous. I mean, you see this consistently. You'll see this a lot on a lot of these films. But look how he really fakes like he's doing the go, and then bang, last minute, shifts his hips, buttery smooth outside, wide open, catches the ball. All day. We got a lot of clips here today, guys. But I just want to show you guys how consistent he is. Again, he was put in motion from outside into the slot. Okay, so now he's in the slot, right side of the quarterback, first receiver in. Out-breaking move, boom, out-breaking route, out all day. So his route running really is something that is apparent. You can see he kind of makes himself tough to find. Bang, gets it out. And you got to love the separation that he creates there. Again, play action fake, ball's out. And he did a lot better once Jameis Winston came into the equation. Now, you can take that however way you want, because Deshaun Watson, as bad as he was, you see very mixed reviews when it comes to somebody like Jameis Winston. You never know what you're going to get. But I love this route, man. Just out again, does an unbelievable job at the top of the route. I hope this is clear enough for you guys. But faking like he's going out, stop, start direction, makes the cornerback completely turn around, creates separation, ball is caught. Line him up in the backfield, then they put him out in motion into the slot here. And just quick, man, just quick. Linebackers have no chance. He's going to get open all day. He does a really good job finding, feeling out the zone, finding those open areas. Now here you're going to actually have him lined up out wide. And terrible job by Jameis Winston, I guess, getting it there late, but he was still able to get open. And here's why I want to show this again. He does a good job. This is press man coverage, top of the screen, lined out wide. But watch kind of how savvy he gets here. He kind of makes it seem like he's going to stop. Boom, keeps it going. And is able to tiptoe the touchdown. It shouldn't have been that difficult, but the ball got there pretty late. Still was able to secure the catch for the only touchdown that he had of the season. Now he's lined up in the slot, top of the screen. And I actually really love this route. I remember cutting this one up on purpose. So you're going to notice he's going to really do a good job faking like he's going to go out, either, doing some sort of a wheel route or kind of, shielding off or blocking. Can't think of the name that they usually use, but blocking that cornerback so that it could free up the receiver. But you can see he fakes it up, boom, cuts it right back in, right when he gets the corner to be behind the guy. And that's an easy pitch and catch there. All right. Before we dive into this, I know Broncos fans remember this game, man. The Levi Wallace game against the Browns, where he was just absolutely torched by everybody, right? So you got to keep that in context. But Levi Wallace is still somebody that is obviously very, experienced. It's not like he's never played. But this is nasty right here. Man coverage, Levi Wallace on the outside, top of the screen, opposite of Elijah Moore. And just watch him put him through the ringer here. I mean, absolutely filthy. Absolutely filthy. He almost goes down and scores. Levi Wallace still here is barely able to get him. He has to get cleaned up. But I hated this at the time, obviously being a Bronco fan, but this is just a filthy, filthy route, right? Does a good job of beating the press, goes in, gains the inside leverage, right? And then, boom, and just flip it right back outside. And, I mean, look, you talk about separation, guys. Look at that. Nasty route being run, wide open. You got to love that. Good job by Elijah Moore there, man. And luckily, Levi Wallace is no longer on the team, and so I'd be down to add Elijah Moore for that reason. Here's another one. Top of the screen, bang. Makes him slip. He does this really well consistently. He does a good job faking like he's going to do some sort of a go route, and then his ability to just change direction and stop is ridiculous. And here, as you can see, it's so good. He actually makes Levi Wallace fall, ball's caught. And now you got the rookie Chris Abrams drain on him because he was just getting toasted and does a really good job against the rookie there. Really, bottom of the screen here. I know it's a little bit fast. But again, makes it look like he's going to go deep. Last minute, fake it out, boom, goes in. Look at that separation there. unguardable kind of stuff there when you have that kind of timing with the quarterback. So really, really good stuff. You got to love it. A few more going here. We got a lot of Elijah Moore. So if y'all kind of get the gist of it, feel free to, go ahead or whatever you like. But I love this kind of stuff all day, every day. I can watch it. Again, what we got? Lined up out wide this time. Boom. Just the separation. I mean, look at that. Super savvy. Gets cornerbacks to really turn a lot outside or inside. I mean, to be completely honest with you, he reminds me from a route running standpoint, he reminds me a lot of what we got with Jerry Jeudy. A lot of that. Just really an innate ability to separate. Does he always separate right away? Sometimes it requires a little bit more time because it's a late developing route. But my God, does he have an ability to really get open? And I really enjoyed seeing that. He's in the slot, bottom of the screen slot to the left of the quarterback. Again. Sorry, he's actually coming opposite of the screen. So, man, this thing is, I got to figure out a better way. But you can see him, he's trailing right across the middle there. Ball was actually there super late, still able to get open right across the middle. Every time you see him make catches, he's even in the short areas, he's pretty much wide open all the time. Now, this one, I believe I remember. I think it's the one where he was missed. I mean, look at this, guys. This is the last one we got for you today. He's in the slot of the bottom of the screen. He's lined up actually against Isaiah Simmons, who's a good cover linebacker. Absolutely smokes him. Fakes the outside, wide open. And Deshaun Watson just with an absolute dog shit of a ball. So there was a lot of that. A lot of that. I didn't want to overdo it with the amounts of, missed throws and stuff like that. But what I see from Elijah Moore is a player that he's undersized. He's a smaller dude, 5'10", 185 pounds. He could play outside or inside. I think he's better as a slot receiver, but you just see him constantly separate, constantly get open. He's got pretty good hands. He did have a couple. He doesn't really drop the ball a lot, but he has one of those very inopportune drops where he drops at a really bad time of the game, critical time, or bounces off of his hands, it gets intercepted. But he only had 4 drops in total for the entire season. I think he's an intriguing player for the Broncos. If you can get him at a cheaper deal, he's someone that brings an element to this team, similar to how we talked about with Kupp, in a sense of no one on this team can really do exactly what it is that he does. Some things that we have to, there's some things that you obviously have to consider with Elijah Moore too. There's a reason why he's not signed yet, being that he's very young. He did go on 2 teams. Is it one of those situations where, maybe he got some attitude problems? I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but those are just things that you got to think about. But otherwise, I want to know what you guys think about Elijah Moore. I think he's a very underrated player, somebody that can bring some savvy route running and separation ability to this Broncos team. So let me know in the comments below, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thanks for bearing with me. Sometimes these film reviews aren't as smooth. I'm still working on ways to get better software and being able to get it all working out for y'all. But I wanted to put it out there. But I think Elijah Moore could be a very, very intriguing player that the Broncos could bring in, especially given the fact that he's still very young. All right, y'all. Enjoy your Saturday, man. Go Broncos as always, and peace out.